This episode of Mob Rules brought to you by Danny's coaching service, helping you get good with such amazing advice as
add advice here,
and
add advice to here.
And if that wasn't enough, you'll never fail to win if you follow this trick.
All you have to do, guys, is
available now for the low monthly cost of $69.99.
Nice.
What a great value coaching service.
I know,
there.
dude. Yeah, anytime, you guys. Just anytime you want to get good.
Yeah. How come I'm paying $89.99 for it then?
Well, so I have a special package for
because you're nice plus 20.
The hard to teach cases.
That's why I'm paying $147 a month. Hey, welcome to Mob Rules. I'm John, joined as always by remotely.
By Dave.
And
physically Danny.
Physically Danny.
Yep.
Dave currently has the coronavirus and is sequestered away.
You joke, but I'm afraid that might actually be the case because my wife brought it back from California.
Oh. Dude, it originated in China. You know China's different from California, right?
No, Corona. It's like at the California beer. Like you get Coronas all over in California.
No, that's the Catalina Wine Festival.
Wine mixer.
Dave, did you get the Catalina virus?
Yeah, it's a tasty dressing.
He got the silicone fever.
But Dave, being very considerate of the fact there's a small child in his house, and also my baby, did not come over and bring his plague. It's a nice self-burn. You guys appreciate that.
It's accurate.
I'm
glad we went there.
But yeah, well, shit, guys, what you been up to? Danny, what you been up to?
Oh, man. Have I been busy, I feel like. I played in a tournament.
Great.
Yep. I borrowed some Tyranids from you.
You did? Yeah.
I did.
My big boys, my wine cannon and my birthing sack.
Yep. So I am practicing a list that I was challenged to run with another person. And we're going to have kind of a list off. So see who does better with it at the Ironman GT that's happening at the beginning of next month. So we're playing 5 games in one day. And so, of course, my opponent's like, oh, Danny, you're tough, right? And in awesome physical condition. Here, I'm going to need you to run this 120 gaunt list.
Man, and you're going up against each other in an Ironman GT in this year, which is 5 rounds in one day.
Right. So, yeah, that's a lot of moving around, a lot of models.
I remember. It was a lot, and they wouldn't go away.
So, game 3, I was pretty tired. At this last tournament last weekend, or maybe it's 2 weekends ago. It was
2 weekends ago, yeah.
So I won 2 and lost 1.
It's pretty good, considering you're usually on like the Iron Hands train, and you're not used to thinking or trying.
Right, there you go. Thinking or trying. Those
thinking
two things.
or trying together.
So
that's the point and click.
Yeah, right. I went third. Or I got third, rather, I should say. Because I
was going to say, is that something like Danny's coaching service? Is that you don't go first or second, go third?
Well, that's the first step into getting first place.
Is going third.
Going third.
That's that first round bye.
Is that even possible?
It's the first round bye.
Yeah, Dave, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why you're paying $20 extra a month.
Jeez. Maybe when you get a little bit better and easier to teach, maybe I'll lower that after we get you off the short bus. So then I played a game against John also this week.
You did. Yeah, it was very poorly played on your part. No, my part there.
So, John
Shocking.
was playing kind of a new list, and he made a couple of mistakes that were important that I was able to capitalize on. So we talked about it after the game, and I think that John learned a lot from the game.
But I think what's important is I caught most of my mistakes.
Yep.
Like after the game, I was like, well, I think I made a few mistakes. You're like what? And then I listed out everything I'd done wrong, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then Danny listed out the rest.
Yeah, he did actually. There was
like maybe one thing that John didn't touch on, and that was it. So,
but I mean, Danny's list or this list that they're putting together for this challenge is so goddamn frustrating to play against. Do you know, Dave? I killed 400 points of gaunts over 4 turns. And they only physically removed 30 from the table.
I mean, I don't because I wasn't there, so I'm just hearing about it now for the first time.
He's got like 3 Turbogons in this list, so if you don't wipe out a unit of the Gaunts in one turn, they all come back.
Yep.
And I was
That's
trying
accurate.
to punch holes for my Lord Discordants. And turns out, I've learned now, if unlike the last time I played against them, when I just kind of touched them in combat with Helldrakes immediately so they couldn't shoot me, Exocrine's are real fucking good.
It turns out.
It turns out. Did you know a single Exocrine can kill 2 Lord Discordants from full health in 1 round of shooting? Because I found that out.
That was pretty epic. Because you can make them damage 3.
Yeah.
And then get 6 shots each time. And I just shot at 2 different Lord Discordants. And with the 6s, 5s and 6s make extra hits. I hit like 8 times on both of them.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. Oh.
So, yep, that was pretty good. So, but it was a fun game. I had a really good time, John. Thanks for playing with me.
Hey, no, your problem at all. I had a really good time too.
Podcasting is hard.
It is
It
hard.
is.
It is. That's okay though. We're one of those cool Skype casts now, so that's all that matters, and it certainly doesn't drop you out halfway through a conversation. But
Only
yeah,
this episode.
so like when I played against Cody and he had his Exocrines, I had Helldrakes who could kind of run up and just kind of reach out and touch, reach out and touch the Exocrine so they couldn't shoot me. I didn't have that for Danny because I'm playing a new kind of list where I'm trying to be like less reliant on close combat. So I had like a lot of shooting and everything. Like I said, turns out Exocrines are real good. Real good.
Yeah, they are so good. They do a ton of damage, especially when you make them damage 3. Like they can really put up.
It was really gross. I was unhappy, but turns out until I found out I was cheating with them, Noise Marines real good, real good.
Yeah, they're very good.
That's rule number 1 in the new Danny coaching service.
Yeah, cheat,
Cheat to win. Yeah.
but have deniability about it the whole time.
That's that's also
But yeah,
important.
so I got a big unit of 20 Noise Marines, and those guys did a lot of work. And what I found out was they're really good in close combat. It was the weirdest thing, and it makes me want to just Rhino Rush squads of Chainsword Noise Marines up there. Like they haven't earned their Sonic Blasters yet, but they have earned 4 attacks on the charge.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's a lot of attacks.
Wouldn't they be better as berserkers though?
They're way cheaper.
I mean-
They're 13 points a model. So for like 200 points, I can have a Rhino full of 10 of them.
They're really only 13. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're pretty cheap. I mean, I'm going to double check now because someone's going to correct me because I'm
Yeah,
usually
it's
wrong
gonna
about
be
this
me
stuff.
because I have the book out in front of
Oh
me.
my god, you can't even see what you're doing.
Shit.
Oh shit! But they are super cheap for what they are. Whereas Berserkers are 17. Yeah, you got to fight twice with them. But the thing is, like with the Noise Marines, I can charge random things, attack them with like 40 attacks. When that random thing kills me, I slowly kill myself out of combat and then just throw like a bunch of crack grenades at him. It's a pretty solid strategy for 200 points.
Yeah, not bad.
CSM 2.0 has them at 15 points, John.
Chapter approved is 13.
Chapter approved changed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 13 plus 1 for the chain. So 14 for
No, chainswords are free, man.
Are they free? Oh yeah. So 13 points for a 3 attack model is pretty good, and it's kind of like a weird thing to throw out there that people aren't really expecting.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to build at least 1 squad of them because I think it would be cool. And then aside from that, yeah. But yeah, it was a really good game, and like I said, I learned a lot. And I like to kind of seek Danny out for these guys because he's like, man, you're so fucking stupid, but in a nicer way.
That's
That's
Accurate.
peak Danny, actually. Yeah.
We tried out the new ITC missions.
oh yeah, that was fun.
Obviously, my list means that Danny didn't make any regular changes outside of what he would usually choose.
Naturally.
But he did score engineers way quicker.
I did well, and way quicker than I'll be. Well, no, I'll still be able to score engineers the same amount.
Yeah, except my warp talents will actually use the right
Oh,
stratagems.
right,
so
of course.
you'll
Yeah,
have to
so
fight back.
I'll lose.
But no, instead of like 32-13, which is what the score ended up being, will be 30-13. And I'll be laughing.
30-14.
Oh, ooh, extra point right
Spicy.
Well, you're forgetting about the chain swords, Danny, so it's still only 13.
there. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Man, they'll do that to you. But yeah, Dave, apart from the plague, or sorry, Danny, what else had you been up to, or you?
No, that's it. I've just been kind of chilling. I painted a model, but not for Games Workshop.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful
you.
little Malifaux model.
Didn't you also play an attorney, Danny?
I did.
You did. He came third.
We talked about that already.
Did we? Oh, okay.
You were actually connected
Sorry.
during that point as well.
Sorry, I'm suffering from some NyQuil fugue still.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice. A little robo rage.
I mean, now I need to change my Demon Prince's name to NyQuil Fugue.
That's actually like not a bad
That's
name.
not a bad name at all. That's why I listened to it and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's incredibly Emperor's Children, John. It works just fine.
That is. But yeah, Dave, what have you been up to? Apart from death, which is kind of your current thing. You're horsing up right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep interrupting you when you're starting to talk.
That's fine.
No. Keep talking, Dave.
No, I'm totally used
Wait,
to it.
wait, Dave. No, keep talking.
Yeah.
One
So,
of our iTunes reviews, leave us a review on iTunes, is it's okay, but they keep talking on top of each other. So I just wanted to, I'm taking that as a positive.
I mean, yeah, that's probably accurate.
accurate. I went out and went to every game store in Alaska that I could reach within a 45-minute travel, and picked up everything I need with the exception of 10 or 20 bloodletters to field my 2,000-point corn army.
What even is a bloodletter?
It's a demon,
Thanks.
Oh.
I was being serious.
Really?
Whoa.
and it holds backline objectives for me.
Wait, what?
Wait, I got this.
No, hold. You're doing it wrong already. We haven't even started yet.
Nope, I'm not. I've got it.
What
I've
even
got-
are you
I've got a plan.
spending $90 a month on?
Bloodletters.
Yeah,
Apparently,
bloodletters.
yeah.
So I decided I'm going for a specific look for my corn guys. All of my Chaos Marine models are going to be in
Purple.
just after Heresy started armor colors. So I'm running World Eaters, and they'll be white with red shoulder pads. And I'm using Mark III armored despoiler models to make all of my berserkers.
That's cool.
So, like, because the warp, the Eye of Terror time is immaterium, so they could go into the warp and come out of the warp, like they'd been asleep for the last 10,000 years.
Like Mumra.
Very similar.
It's a Thundercats reference.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Thank you.
Way to age myself some.
So, yeah, no, and I built all of the models that I have now this past weekend. So that was 20 Mark III Berserkers, 2 Demon Princes, 10 Bloodletters, 2 Lord Discordants, and a couple HQs for the army as well. So that's what I've been up to, just buying and building.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my Noise Marine upgrades came in, so I built those guys. And I got to say, the new Chaos, I was going to say the Chaos Tactical Squad, but the basic Chaos Space Marine kit, amazing. Just, oh my gosh, those
it's
guys
really cool.
are so great. And I have some old school Noise Marine upgraded Chaos Space Marines and some new ones. And you can really tell, and there's just like a crispness to the detail that's just amazing. And I really love how the Noise Marine weapons look on those guys. So I built 10 of those this week, and then I also built the Demon Prince of Nurgle, the weird guy with the ballsack chin, which I'm very excited about running him, even though he doesn't have wings. And then I played against Danny. I have another game set up for this Sunday. I'm going to try the next version of this list because I'm trying to move away from all combat and trying to move some shooting into there. So we'll see how it goes. I removed all the Lord Discordants from my army after Danny kind of one-shotted them, and it, feels bad, man, to have like 500 points of your army evaporate to 2 penis bugs. And then, that's really all I've been up to. I didn't get to play in the tournament. I did a build and paint day. That's right.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah. So I did the Start Collecting Challenge, which one of our local stores had, is you buy one of their Start Collecting boxes, and then you have 12 hours to assemble and paint it completely. I failed the challenge, of course, but I did get 10 Zangors and 10 Rubric Marines painted.
Nice. They look really good, too.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't want to start Araman and then rush Araman. And like really that box I only bought because of Araman, because I'm like, man, he's like $40 by himself. I might as well. At some point I'm going to run these guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to rush through them, especially because I want to magnetize them to the base of the disc, so I have some options there, and I didn't bring the right drill bit with me. So I was like, yeah, okay, but it was a fun 12 hours. Hung out with a bunch of good people who were doing the same thing.
I came and hung out at the end.
Yeah, you came and hung out at the end. Nate cheated. He bought the Start Collecting Space Marine starter kit from the Shadow Spear box.
Yeah.
And then painted them Iron Hands black using contrast. I'm like, man, contrast really makes this challenge not an accurate thing.
Did they look good?
Yeah, they look really good, man. It's just that black contrast over the Wraithseer or the bone or whatever it is looks really good. Oh,
Nice.
shit, I wish I could do black that easily. But yeah, that's all I got up to. It was a really nice week. I'm starting to kind of get back into the 40K after taking kind of a little mini break after LVO.
Sure.
Because we're like that weekend just burned me out incredibly. It was a lot of fun, but there's so much 40K. And now I'm kind of getting back into it, trying to get into a good rhythm with this list. There's a GT coming up that I'm running, Grimazal, which is going to be a GT in a day, or slightly over a day, I guess, but 5 rounds in a row. So I've been kind of finalizing stuff for that, answering questions on that. If you're attending, just please send me your Chaplain Dreadnought picture. That's literally the only conversion requests I've received.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
awesome.
a bunch of fucking Chaplain Dreads.
I'm sure they're awesome.
Man, it's great. I'm just going to go in and be like the night before, be like, by the way, Leviathan Dreadnoughts, it's remove the Dreadnought keyword, and also you can't use this. Be like, rah, 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 rah. So hopefully not too many net lists on this here. But it should be a really fun time. It's a GT, yes, it's GT points. We're really firing off for like 30 people going, I think.
I think we have at least 23 that are signed up for sure, on the thing. And then I think there's some guys from Fairbanks who haven't signed up yet. And then there's some other guys that are coming down to play in that as well from all over, which we're very excited.
We're excited for that. And I think, I'm sorry, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't actually officially signed up yet, mainly because I just don't know what I'm running yet.
That's fair.
It's a GT, so I kind of want to run something that I can actually score ITC points, but at the same token, I want to see how well I can pilot an all close combat army after game 4.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Those armies are very finesse, but it's a more casual one. I've worked out with the store owner that we're running it at. It's a cheap GT. It's only $25 for the day.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. It's going to be a cheap because you kind of pop some attendance still. Everyone who attends is getting a survival bag, which is going to have like an energy drink, like weird stuff like that, like super cool things. And then I'm making completion certificates for everyone. So if you drop, then you're like, I survived 2 rounds, or I survived 3 rounds, or I masterclass the whole thing. So everyone's gonna leave with something, because I think the thing is GT points. I'm trying to get another GT up here in Alaska. This puts us to 4, which I'm super excited about. But at the same time, I want to make sure everyone has fun, because it is a more casually aimed event. A stealth GT.
Gene gave me the thumbs up to slam some 9 locos in the parking lot during this thing. So that's gonna happen.
We'll be doing that for sure. That's another Patreon video.
That's for sure.
For sure.
and that was how we all died.
Yep.
Pretty much. Danny's running 200 models.
The one where the gang died.
Yeah, because you're running the same list as Eric, right? Don't you guys have like a little side bet to see who does better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you not listening to the podcast as we record it?
No, I tend to block everything out. I'm usually just too busy thinking about
it's the NyQuil fugue. Remember?
Yeah.
NyQuil fugue.
Not the Demon Prince. Common misconception.
Not his brother, Dayquil fugue. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. A lot of people are super hyped for it. And that's really all we've been up to. So we're going to take a quick break right now. And when we come back, ITC 2020 missions are out. You've heard the best. Now
hear the rest.
Now hear the rest. Math hammered. And then make sure we do some editing on this one here.
Oh my God.
Boy, we'll try this one more time here. Thank God Dave's still on mute. He's going to be giving me a fucking hard time for this. You've mastered the art of the Stanley. You've downloaded the ITC Battles app. You've loaded your dice to guarantee your charge. Now perfect your game with Mob Rules measuring accessories. Made of the finest acrylic and carrying the skill of the Danny, the tactics of the Dave, and something positive about John. Get yours now at hammerheadgames.net. All right, now we are back, and obviously after countless hours of attempting to edit, I've just given up and left that last part in and pretending that it was just supposed to be there. So yay me.
Send the whole podcast off to the Dangly Boys to edit, because, I mean, they're the best at it. They don't ever fuck anything up.
I'm going to assume that's what you go in there for.
Well, when you're that scripted, I mean, it's hard to screw anything up.
Yeah. Welcome to Dangly Boys, a podcast by a bunch of idiots, or oh fuck, I forget what he says.
Are you talking about us or them?
Well, likewise, either way, it all works out the same in the end.
Both?
Yeah.
Why not both, JPEG? But yeah, ITC 2020 missions came out, long awaited, much discussed. Some very positive reviews of them, some very negative reviews of them.
Sure.
So good, yeah, Dave.
Which podium are we on?
Well, let's talk about the major change here first, and we're going to call it attackers and defenders. Huge change, kind of beta tested last year with half of the missions being similar to that.
Yep.
But attackers and defenders now is you set up everything, I set up everything. You go first. No C's roll.
Let's call the whole thing.
Let's just call it. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Dave, what's your thoughts on this?
So I might have been one of the few people that likes the you deploy, I deploy, you go first kind of thing. Because I really did. I liked them quite a bit, and what I hated though after that was the C's roll, because sweet Jesus was just game over for the person that
I was going to say nothing feels good about being seized on. And in a lot of games, it doesn't feel good to seize. I mean, I know we all scream like, yeah.
Usually it doesn't feel good to seize.
But here's the deal. Every time I seize, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And that shouldn't be my reaction to a thing. So I'm glad seizing is gone.
Yeah, it's gone for everything, broad spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Both sides. Yeah.
God damn it. What I'm not a fan of is I deploy, you deploy.
Oh, okay.
Combined with the seize.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, you mean like the full deployment?
I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of full deployment with no C's.
Right.
Because like especially kind of the kind of list I was running coming up to this season, where it was like a lot of really fast close combat units, knowing that I can deploy all my shit on the line unmolested is super powerful. And it really changes the way like I build lists. Like I almost looked at going back to my LVO list because I'm like, man, if I go first, I'm just gonna line all my shit up in the front.
Yep.
And then call it good. And I have like 6 things in your deployment zone turn 1, and I know I can.
That's true. That's very true.
And I don't have to worry about, or like when I'm deploying, because at LVO and when I was practicing this list, I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna go first, but if I don't, I still have to pull back a little bit.
Right.
Or I have to. When I deploy my Lord Discordants, I have to keep them in cover, or I have to kind of keep them hidden from this tank's cannons here. Now I can just like take out my little floppy dick and like flop it down on the table and be like, okay, cool, I'm going first anyway.
Get fucked, son.
Get fucked. Have 2 Lord Discordants in your face.
Everybody loves 2 Lord Discordants in your face, John.
False.
That's why I bought 2 of them.
False.
And not
you
3.
were 1 short of the perfect number. But Danny, what's your opinion
there
on?
3 available in Alaska.
All right, so I'm pretty ambivalent about the deployment. To be honest with you, I can see it going both ways. I like both things. Like I like the previous way. I thought there was some tactics involved in the counter deployment. It was a little stressful on the time clock to do that, though. I understand.
Oh, sure.
That's kind of annoying to flip back and forth. Really, I just want to skip over that stuff. I don't want to talk about that because, like, I think that there are pros and cons to both ways of doing it.
Sure.
I'm most interested in the changes to secondaries, and I think that those are all very positive.
Can I ask you real quick, how do you feel about the reroll to deployment?
Oh, I like that. I actually like that a lot.
Cool.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yep.
Secondaries. Lots of changing. Kingslayer's gone. Long live Mortarion. Viable again, giving up only 1 point maximum, which I'm very happy about.
And Titan Slayer's gone too.
And Titan Slayer's also gone.
Now, with this update, as of recording, they have changed the ITC rules.
Yes, which thankfully was this morning. But another one saw some major changes was Marked for Death.
Yep, changes from a power level, which never got modified, to points, which gets modified all the time, which is great.
And I think it was Falcon pointed out the very impressive fact that a squad of intercessors with a Thunderhammer is 101 points.
Correct. 5 intercessors with Thunderhammer is 101.
Which, Marked for Death is squads 100 points or more, which really kind of affects list construction a little bit because, man, that's a real easy cap to hit.
For sure. A lot of squads can't avoid not having that many models in it.
Yeah. Yeah, another
correct. Yeah.
It also lets you build to it a little bit as well, which is nice. Whereas before, like if you wanted to take any more than 5 intercessors, you were going to be marked for death on them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So now you can take, not that you can take 6 now because 6 is still more, but like, in circumstances like that, for instance, like where they had a power level increase per 5 models or something, or 10 models.
So less bookkeeping overall on that one.
I agree. I really like it.
Dave,
Yeah.
any opinion on Marked for Death, Volume 2020?
I am a huge fan of the change.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, I like being able to take it against a lot of other different things now instead of what it was previously, which was, well, guess I'm taking all of your vehicles and I'm taking all of this. We'll call it a day,
A couple other old favorites have changed. Favorite of the podcast and mastered by Randall Sands, Gangbusters, has changed. No longer works on any troop units.
Or swarms.
Or swarms.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a new change. That definitely didn't happen before. But the no troops thing is huge.
It really helps armies like Tyranids and Custodes.
Exactly.
To limit.
It
giving up so
almost
many
makes me
points.
want to pull back out my Custodes and run them, because now it's an easy thing to not have somebody score on. On
sure.
the plus side, Marked for Death is now taken against all of it, so it's fine.
I thought your Custodes was all jet bikes, Dave.
Yeah, it's not. There's
okay.
there's 3 units of 3 troops.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's exactly 9, and he
Yeah.
very worried about that. The other returning favorite for the killing objectives, because I should go back and say they're now split into killing and board control.
Seek and destroy and maneuver secondaries.
Seek and destroy maneuver. The returning seek and destroy was Reaper, which is now an amazing change. 1 point for every 20 wounds dealt to infantry rather than 20 models killed. That is great, and that kind of fills some of the void Gangbusters had by removing the troop option. I feel anyway.
Yeah, I really like it. I feel like it should have always been wounds and not models, because you've got multi-wound models that are infantry that you can score on, like with the aggressors. Aggressors are 3 wounds, Centurions are 4 wounds. They only counted as 1 model before, but now they count as 3 wounds.
Also,
Four wounds scored.
intercessors.
Yeah.
Also intercessors. It's as much as I dislike what feels like a change to try to stem the tide of Space Marines winning continuously, I like this as a change.
Yeah, I think it's really good. And keep in mind, none of these, in fact, none of the kill secondaries at all can stack with one another. In fact, none of the secondaries, for the most part, can stack with one another, except for, I believe,
Old school
Which
stacks with all of them.
old favorite. We have a brand new secondary. Born for Greatness.
Oh yeah, that one's awesome. I love so this is my favorite new secondary of all of them.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Born for Greatness, Danny.
So Born for Greatness is you pick a single model that has the character role, and you gain 1 point for accomplishing each of the following up to a total of 4, and you can only do 1 of each per game. So destroy an enemy unit that doesn't have the character keyword, destroy an enemy unit that has the character keyword, deny an enemy psychic power, hold an objective outside your deployment zone, heroically intervene into an enemy unit, and begin and end a battle round wholly within your opponent's deployment zone. So I think this is an awesome secondary. Like, it encourages heroics. Like, it's very cinematic. Like, I really like it. I don't know how often it'll be taken, because I don't see it. I think it's actually kind of hard to do.
Sure. It's like, does your army
very
have
much so.
snipers? Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Not taking Born for Greatness.
Yeah, probably not, because I'm probably
Yeah.
not going to be great this game. I'm going to be sniper meat. But I think that if you have a character that's pretty tough and or has the ability to move really fast, I think this could be a really great one to have, because it's like some of them are very easy, like heroically intervening and destroying units is probably easy for a character, or should be. And then, but the other ones are kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Dave, anything about Born for Greatness?
I'm with you on the sense that it's great sounding and seems like it'll be awesome to take, but at the same token, if there's even 1 sniper unit on the board, it's just asking to have that particular model picked off first.
Sure. And again, Admiral Akbar sounds, I don't want to get sued by Disney, but it's a trap. I feel it's a trap. I don't think it's something a lot of people are going to max out.
Sure. Did we talk about Big Game Hunter?
No, we did not. You're right.
So they did change Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter was previously destroy a vehicle or monster model with 7 or more wounds. And so they've combined this one with Titan Slayer. So every 10 wounds you do to enemy units containing the monster, Titanic, or vehicle keyword, you get a point for it.
And
which is
that's-
super good.
Oh, isn't that a recent change to this particular one that was just released today?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it still makes knights a little vulnerable to that.
For
because
sure.
if you take big game, you kill it, or you do a knight and a half worth of damage, you max out pretty much. Or no, 2 knights worth of damage.
Yeah, if you kill 2 knights, pretty much you'll get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a good change, and I think it feels less bad than Titan Slayer did.
For sure.
Cool. Did I miss out any of the other?
Butcher's Bill is the same. Headhunter is the same. Other than that, all those are the seek and destroy secondaries.
So you can destroy. Danny, take us through the other ones.
So we've got maneuver secondaries, and so these ones are about standing in a place and not doing anything.
Yes.
Well, usually some of them you do
Thematic.
stuff in that. And so one thing to mention about these, so you pick one seek and destroy and one maneuver, and then you can pick an extra maneuver or an extra seek and destroy, or you can take old school, which has not changed. Old school is the same. So the maneuver secondaries, you have recon, and recon is mostly changed, except that on turn 2, if you have 2 units in every table quarter, you gain 2 points. So potentially you can get this one accomplished by turn 3 and get all the points for it, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Although that does take 8 units, and again, these don't count towards any other secondary that you're trying to score points on. Then you have behind enemy lines. This has changed. You can do it. You only can do it if the unit doesn't have the flyer keyword. If you have one unit,
Fuck you, Eldar.
right? Well, no, and that's good. Like it shouldn't.
Oh, yeah,
that
for
should
sure.
not
And
be
Iron
something.
Hand's Air Wing or
Yeah, sure.
any other combination.
Yep,
But
yep.
mostly Eldar. Fuck you,
Okay.
Eldar.
If you have one unit in their deployment zone at the end of your turn, not at the start of your turn, which is how it was before, you gain a point. You have to have every model at least partially in the enemy deployment zone. So if you only have one model in your unit, as long as it's half a base or whatever, you'll still be in there, or even like a tippy toe of the base. Starting on turn 2 and forward, if you have 3 units that don't have the flyer battlefield role entirely in your opponent's deployment zone, at the end of your turn, you gain 2 points instead. So you can kind of double that up and score more than 1 point at a time, which is pretty nice. You've got ground control. This one's the same. If you gain a point for every objective held at the end of the last battle round.
But if you hold every objective, you max points.
Correct. That is a small change. So you can get this one even if there are only 3 objectives on the table, which there is still one mission with 3 objectives for some reason. Then you have King of the Hill. King of the Hill is at the end. King of the Hill is no longer at the end of the battle round. It's at the end of your turn. And you have to have 2 non-character multi-model units or units with the Titanic keyword wholly within 9 inches of the center of the table. Starting on turn 2 and on, if you have 4 plus units in the start of the table, you can earn 2 points instead of 1.
Is it possible to have 2 or more within 9 inches of the center with Titanic, though?
Oh, easily, yeah. You can probably get 4 in there, I think. I'd have to
Okay.
measure it, but I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Do the Armigers have Titanic?
No.
Get fucked.
So if you take all of your knights and put them in the middle of the table, you can get 2 points. Otherwise, if you have 2 knights in the middle of the table, you can get 1 point.
Although so 9 inches is a lot bigger than it was.
Yeah,
previously.
it was 6.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking, is because I was like, man, 6 inches, you can't even get Titanics in wholly in, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. So so definitely, this one's a lot more doable and a lot better. I think people are going to start playing this one. I think this is a really good. This is a really good one for Tau,
Yeah.
especially if they have a bunch of 2-man drone units.
So, and it was
Like, you
one I
can-
took against you on Sunday, but it kind of, for
Monday.
me anyway, or Monday, sorry. And for me anyway, kind of forced my play a little bit.
Yep.
Where I had to keep funneling units into the center of the board in order to keep scoring that there.
That's true.
So there's a pitfall you can fall into too of, yes, I can score it every turn, but it's going to dictate where I go and how I play.
True.
Yeah, I think it's really good for big horde armies like Sisters of Battle right now.
I think it's really bad for those armies.
Right.
Well,
Because
really?
yeah, it was my horde troops that were holding it. Whereas if you have, like Danny was saying, like little 2-man units of drones, if you have 4 of those, you can zip those guys in really quickly, score your points.
Now you got 2 points for
Yeah.
that objective. And like, so I think sisters are fine for that, but like at the same time, you don't necessarily want to be holding the center of the table against every single enemy. Like sometimes you have to give it up because the enemy's too aggressive, and so like it's really matchup dependent. And having all those sisters in the middle of the table, like you may not want them to be in the middle of the table.
Well, you only need 2 units in to score it. I mean, and if you've got a priest with them that's a -1 that it makes them ignore AP2, they get really tough. I think
mean, a lot of
Sisters is
times
good
there's
unit for it.
there's not objectives in the center of the table, so there are 3-up saves. So you just have to force a bunch of stuff to go through 3-up armor saves.
Well, you can't score King of the Hill and hold an objective
Yes, you can.
not for any other secondary with objectives.
Correct.
But you still
There's
hold
no
one.
other. I mean, you can't sappers it or engineers it, I guess.
Right. So I mean, the odds are you've got an objective someplace else anyway. You could just park 2 units in the center of the table or close to it. 9 inches is a pretty big gap.
I mean, it's a big bubble, but like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot better than it was, and it'll get taken a lot more because it wasn't taken hardly at all in the last iteration of these. Next one is engineers. You pick 2 non-character, non-fortification units in your army to be engineers.
Boo. Where's my void shield engineer generator?
He's fixing this objective.
I took these plasma conduits for a reason. God damn it!
Starting on battle turn 2, if one or more of these units starts and ends your turn within 3 inches of an objective marker and didn't make attacks or manifest psychic powers during your turn, you score 1 point. If you have 2 engineer units performing this role on 2 separate objectives, and one or more of the objectives is outside of your deployment zone, you get 2 points. So again, that has to be on turn 2 or better, and it has the same caveat, like it can't be prevented from being shot at by special rules or stratagems.
Now, Danny used this to great effect against me on Monday, where when we were placing objectives at the start of the mission, you purposely placed your objectives far away and in the center of the table, knowing that you were going to try and score those 2 points for it.
Yep.
Turn 2.
Yep. So I tried to make sure that one of my objectives was outside of my deployment zone so I could walk over and take it right off the bat. In fact, I started the game in possession of the objective pretty much.
Yeah.
So I knew that on turn 2 I was going to get 2 points for that one, like almost certainly.
Well, I killed 26 gaunts.
Only
Only
was a lot
4
of
away.
notes. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, so I think this one's still really great. And if your opponent doesn't have a lot of indirect fire or firepower, I think it's a really awesome objective to take. Sappers is a new one. So this has the same. So select 2 non-character, non-fortification, non-flyer battlefield role units from your armies to be sappers. As long as a sapper unit ends its movement within 3 inches of an objective outside of the controlling player's deployment zone, the sapper's unit can render the objective unscorable if that unit did not make any attacks or manifest any psychic powers during your turn. So it's kind of like reverse engineers, where you take away an objective. And an objective that is rendered unscorable will not generate any mission points for primary or secondary objectives for the sapper unit's opponent, so long as it remains in that state. Note a sapper may render an objective unscorable even if they do not control the objective. Once rendered unscorable, an objective remains in the state until the sapper unit moves 3 inches away from it, is destroyed, makes any attacks, or manifests any psychic powers. For each objective rendered unscorable, earn 1 victory point, starting on 2 or more. If you can earn up to 2 sapper points for scoring 2 or more objectives or making them unscorable. And you can never make them unshootable by Cloud of Flies or whatever other special rules. Yeah, so this one is interesting. I still think it could be the English on it could be tightened up a little bit.
Yeah, they cleared up the wording a little bit on it, but it's still, yeah.
So, am I the only one that doesn't immediately think of Goblin Sappers from Warcraft 2 when you read this?
I mean,
So,
okay, sure.
You know what I think of?
It's the same thing, though, right?
What I think of with sappers, kind of as a sapper
Well, you're
defense.
Canadian, so obviously you're immediately thinking of maple syrup.
For sure. Is how great a single Inquisitor becomes. A single Inquisitor has a psychic power where you take control of one of the weapons from that unit and shoot it as if it's your own, therefore invalidating that unit's attack, right? Or so it can no
that's
longer
neat.
sap, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I could
that's
say
a dick move.
that's a cool thing to do.
So an Inquisitor is
that.
like 35 points. That power is Warp Charge 6.
$69.99, Danny, payable to John.
So yeah, that's a Warp Charge 6 power and a 35-point character.
yeah,
And that's just a really great dick move to shut down sappers.
I like it. Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah.
Now, note you're going to have to
And-
take
and
this
only
character
here.
before you know, and you're going to have to take this character and psychic power before you know what objectives your opponent is taking.
Sure. But again, it's a way of sort of controlling the secondaries a little bit.
Yep. Or if your opponent's not wary, it's just a way that you can make sure they never get it.
I mean, you can also do it with GSC, can't you?
Well, okay, John.
With the character you already have.
Does that actually do anything?
Does it do any what?
It doesn't actually do anything.
Dominate?
No, I mean, like, okay, so check this out.
Okay.
The sapper unit makes the objective unscorable during their turn.
Oh,
Right?
but you scored at the end of
Your turn.
Your turn. Yeah, never mind. It was a good idea.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
liked the plan.
Maybe if I could psychic power in your turn, which if you want to let me do,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
okay
you
with.
you should be able to talk your opponent into that pretty
For
easily.
sure.
It does, however, work on the engineers, though, John. So good call on that one.
Yeah, it does work
Yeah.
on engineers. That's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool little trick.
I like it.
Those guys fit in drop
You
pods.
could even or you can put him in you can make him a Terminator
Yep.
and deep strike him in and do it.
Oh man, what a great dick move.
Or Hexter Rex or whatever. Or,
And honestly,
Hector
like a
Rex.
little Inquisitor isn't terrible.
No, they're fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. The final one we have is the Postman. Is this your favorite,
Great.
John?
That's a great Kevin Costner movie. I get very excited about The Postman
What a
in
bad movie.
post-apocalyptic 2014. I think it was. that
No,
took
it was
place in.
way before that, dude.
Oh man.
The
That's on
Postman makes
VHS.
No, I meant
Waterworld
the
look
year
like
it was
an
set in.
Oscar-worthy flick.
Was it in 2014?
I'm gonna look it up here
Oh
real
my
quick while you
God,
describe it.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Postman.
All right, so
synopsis.
the Postman. Select a single model from your army that does not have the vehicle, monster, or Titanic keywords to be the Postman. This model can be in a unit. This model may not choose to gather, this model may choose to gather intel on an objective within 3 inches that you control at the end of your turn. You may only gather intel from each objective once per game. Earn 1 point per objective that you gather intel from. At the end of the game, if you have gathered intel from every objective on the table, you automatically score all 4 points.
Yeah, but if you're other than the one mission that has 3, you're automatically scoring 4 points. I mean, you automatically score 4 points on the secondary. And the secondaries that I've seen so far, I don't appreciate that, because if you're doing it right,
So-
you've already scored your 4 points.
Okay.
Make it say something like if you gathered intel from every objective on the table, you get 1 bonus point, allowing you to get 13 secondary points or something like that.
So
give it some
I
actual
think the
incentive.
reason that they did that, Dave, was because in some of the previous drafts they had the ability for you to burn objectives.
Yeah.
So
The Postman is a 1997 American post-apocalyptic action-adventure film produced and directed by Kevin Costner and features him in the lead role. just to make it sure.
You okay over there, Danny?
yeah, sorry, he also played a character named Kevin.
A neo-western. So it's in the near future year of 2013, 16 plus years after unspecified apocalyptic events.
Oh my god.
Seems legit.
Seems legit. 7 years ago. Man, we recovered so quickly.
Did we though?
I mean, I like Postman is a
never
weird
forget.
one, right? Because there seems to be so many better choices, but it's still super weird, and there's gamey ways to do it, right?
Okay, so this one to me
Yeah.
is here, Eldar. Here's 4 points because you put this on a Farseer on a jet bike. You
Yep.
fly around
Zip zip.
20 inches or more every turn and just like land on objectives and to get points.
I could also see it on a unit of veterans with jump hacks. Just make.
Oh
the
no, I
sergeant
will
the
shoot
postman.
the shit out of those really quickly.
I mean, do what you got to do.
And
but
then you have to worry about things like death chesters. The Harlequin snipers where you pick the model in the unit, right?
Yeah, you
that
can do that.
comes off. So what I find hilarious about Postman is it really speaks to putting rubber loom bands on your models to specify which is the Postman. It was only so many months after it was such a huge issue for LVO.
That's not true at all, John. Haven't you read the latest edition that they just released today? It actually says we recommend for the Postman using squad marks available from squadmarks.com.
Sounds kind of ominous there. But yeah, it's good for, like I said, Danny, those Elder jet bikes. Oof, yeah, that's crazy. Like a Farseer positioned right, you can't shoot him because of the character rule, and he's just going to zip around the table.
Hell yeah. Especially
cool.
like in an Eldar flyer list.
But yeah, so I guess that's all the secondaries, right?
Yep, that's every single one. Oh, except for old school, which hasn't changed. But we're not going to talk about old
same
school.
Boring stuff there. But so I guess, how does the army construction change to you guys here? So kind of looking at these are kind of really pushing for more mobile things and really rewarding coming out of your deployment zone and kind of making big moves. How does this change kind of your army construction? Dave.
Sorry, I got a mouthful of cider. I'm chasing NyQuil with cider because I'm trying to make sure I definitely get healthy.
Chasing NyQuil was a really good Kurt Cobain documentary.
Chasing cider? It doesn't. I'm already locked into this list.
Yeah.
At this point. I feel like the list that I made is better now because of these objectives. Because it does give me more flexibility than having to just drive across the board and slap somebody in the face with my giant corn dick. You know, I can take some other secondaries like engineers with bloodletters and let them sit on an objective in the back and just score points because they've got an invuln save. So, you know, they're a little bit better against indirect fire and other stuff like that.
Yeah. I gotta say, for me, it has me looking at my LVO list again. Like, I have this like other list that I'm working at, but then I'm thinking about it. If I can guarantee going first, then I'm way happier. I can do a heck of a lot with the different secondaries that are there. But it really rewards kind of a fast, mobile, resilient list, I feel, more than anything else. Danny, what do you think?
I think this rewards board control armies very heavily, which is good because I think that we were moving away from that during LVO. There was a huge, I mean, there's still a lot of them, right? Like the Broviathan list is a board control army, and it's like meant to be super durable and kind of clumps up. But this kind of rewards armies that kind of control the entire table, which is something I really like. I like that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to come back with some, we're going to take a break, come back with some housekeeping, and then something else. Man, I'm good at teases.
Do you have a single wound? A standard bolt gun? Having trouble maintaining an acceptable Xenos kill count? Only barely over 2 meters tall? Maybe it's time to ask your lieutenant if the Rubicon Primaris is right for you. The Rubicon Primaris is a prescription process that helps you to update that tired look. You may notice an increase in your purging abilities within 2 to 4 hours. You may experience loss of life, additional organs, and a points increase. Do not take the Rubicon if you plan on fitting into rhinos, drop pods, or other traditional vehicles. The Rubicon Primaris is not intended for second founding chapters. The Rubicon Primaris is for use on genetically enhanced super soldiers over the age of 800 only. You are encouraged to report negative side effects to your company's apothecary. The Rubicon Primaris. Because sometimes plot armor is just not enough.
Hey, and look, I even managed to do it right this time.
It's amazing.
I'm
John.
so excited. And
We
I just
had
can't
faith.
hide up. No, you didn't, you bastard. So housekeeping, Mob Rules has grown amazingly this past year, thanks to listeners like you, stupid or drunk enough to listen to us, doing whatever it is you might be doing.
Our listener base tends to actually come in the morning time in other countries, so people like to listen to us while they're getting ready for work or traveling.
Yeah, like I said, stupid or drunk.
They're
Well,
recovering from being stupid or drunk. That's
Yeah.
that's my.
They're like, oh man, what did I
Supposition.
download last night? Ugh. But as prematurely announced by Dangly Boys, we're partnering up.
Loosely partnering.
Loosely partnering. So we're starting the Rogue Trader Network, I think is where we landed on. Last we heard, we're waiting for Seth to get the okay for us to call it that with his guys. And then apparently the okay was hearing it on the Dangly Boys episode.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm for it. And so what this is going to be is just kind of a network of podcasts where we're going to kind of get some cool guys in and really just cross promote synergy, corporate strategies, business words.
Amazing.
But obviously, because it's Dangly Boys and Mob Rules right now, it'd be the two main podcasts on there. Is really just scripted 40K content is what we're looking for at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't take you seriously either.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's literally the only housekeeping I have. Oh, and then coming soon, TM.
I've been to your house. It's pretty fucking filthy.
Coming soon, TM. We are working on a brand new Mob Rules website too.
Hell yeah.
And that'll be up here soon. So if you do like to get your podcast that way, everything will be up there. We'll have links to our YouTube, everything you need in one handy space. Yeah. That's about all I have for housekeeping. Oh, we have wound markers available at Hammerhead Games now.
Oh yeah. Those things look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very hyped to get my hands on those.
Very hyped for this.
I'm looking at them right now, actually.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Well, the one nice thing about being stuck at home in front of my computer is that I can Google all the shit that I need to Google mid game easily.
Oh shit!
Or
You
mid
don't
podcast easily.
You don't do that like when you're here. Since where all my information
I just trust
comes
you
from.
that you're correct with the postman information and walk away.
Oh man, yeah.
That-
Kevin Costner.
Bold move, man. Bold move.
Kevin Costner, world-class director.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, he's wrong. I find out later from people who message me like, "Dude, you were totally right. That guy's an idiot." And I'm like, "I know, but don't tell him that to his face."
No,
Just
tell me
behind
that to my
his back.
face. I want to tell you to go fuck yourself. Pretty much.
I did get some messages from people who appreciated some of my strange '90s references, like the Pog reference in the last podcast. They were like, "Dude, you were killing it with those references," and I was like, "I know. John just doesn't appreciate good humor, and he can suck a dick." So.
I mean, those two aren't mutually exclusive things.
Wait, so did you
shit,
hold on a second? Did you like leave yourself some voicemails, like telling yourself, like, "Man, good job on those references," or like?
No, I get direct messages from listeners actually.
Oh,
Who
okay.
were like, "Man, those guys were being dicks to you." I was like, it's all right.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of the shtick.
I mean, I have my own Patreon at this point.
Okay.
Everybody puts $1
to
into
pay
it,
for
which
your
I can make a mom
counseling?
joke. Yeah,
the Dave Eaton counseling fund.
it was started by Beals. It was pretty nice.
Holy
of them.
shit! If I knew that was a thing, I would pick on you way more. There's some really good
Seriously,
professionals
you're getting
up here.
money for that?
It's the only way they can keep me coming back. Such abuse.
Such abuse, yeah. At this point, I won't even let you in my house. That's why you're Skyping over here, and you're quote unquote ill.
I mean, I think I sound pretty good. I may as well just join the Dangly Boys podcast. It's not like they're scripted or anything.
No, you have to have a lot of mouse clicks in the background to join
What are you
Dangly
talking-
Boys.
Like,
I thought that was a.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought that was a Pablo thing.
Yeah, no. That's also other things there. You can only be a true podcaster if you're doing something else in the background. I'm clicking loudly in a mouse.
As far as I can tell, you can only be a true podcaster if nobody has the same recorded volume, and they don't equalize it over the course of before releasing it, and then you also have to be part of like a network. So we're almost there.
God, we're so close.
So close. All I need to go is go back to my shitty board and not edit instead of the nice board and not edit. And yeah, we are pretty much out of Mob Rules dice as well. So thank you for everyone who picked those up.
We'll have to figure out a second season or
We'll have
something
to
like
figure
that.
out a second season. I know some people were talking about tape measures, which would be super cool. Minimum order is like 200 of them, though.
Tape measures, 200 tape
so
measures.
I
That's
think
a lot.
tape measures is a cool thing. There's ones that are like less, but they're really shitty ones. And if we're gonna do them, we're gonna do it right.
Yeah, well, as usual, right?
As usual. I mean, we don't
Can
podcast
I
right.
soapbox for a second?
Oh, okay. Yep.
Just half a second.
I'll mute me and Danny.
Mute him too.
I wouldn't know if I was muted. You could have just done it. My headphones redirect my sound to me. So we finally get into the making objective markers and the awesome movement trackers, and they go ahead and go out of their way to potentially change size, distance, and movements of things coming up for the next edition. What the fuck, GW? Why are you trying to keep a good mob ruler down? All right? Okay, that's it. That's all I had.
Yeah, we ordered some custom mob rules objectives from 3D6 Wargaming. I'm excited to have a lot of coasters.
But big coasters.
Big
Yeah,
coasters.
Very big coasters.
Very big coasters. I'm going to have a
have to get some
patchwork
big
tablecloth.
glasses.
Oh, dude, we could sew them together and make a cape.
Merch, man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I would wear that to so many big tournaments.
I know you wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
why we won't do it, because you won't wear anything else.
No, I sure won't. Make
Just a
mob rules
sweatband and a
poncho. Underwear optional.
But I
No,
guess
it's not.
to close this off, if you have purchased merchandise from us, either from directly, from either of the amazing companies we partner with, if you ever given us even $1 on the Patreon we have, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you
seriously.
guys make all of this possible.
Agreed.
It blows me away to this day that anyone would even think of giving us $1, even if that's not your native currency and you're in the UK and it's like 50 pence. That's still too much for what we produce. But again, thank you so much for making all this possible. We're going to take a very short break. And when we come back, we are starting a narrative fun campaign. So comp stuff out of the way, done. You can stop listening now, unless you stopped listening like 30 minutes ago, which is probably standard. Danny,
Right after the opening.
Because you just hear for the puns we tell in the first 2 minutes. But Danny, Dave, and I are going to be doing a narrative campaign, or like, I guess, a fun campaign with completely randomly generated Chaos Armies. Round 1 of that starts today.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to randomly generate our Warlords using the 2018 character creator for Chapter Approved. So stick around. We will be right back.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
Oh man, blast from the past there. Haven't listened to that whistling commercial in a while, I have to say. Ooh. Oh man, look at that. Got to adjust some levels on this little powerful dice microphone I have set up.
Yep.
Ooh, that was an 11. Good roll, dude.
Oh, okay, that's like perfect sound quality there. Love it. So yeah, we are kind of all doing like a fun little narrative campaign. It's kind of like a post-LVO cleanser. I'm expanding my Nurgle army. Dave is getting himself into some corn action that he's been talking about for a while. Danny has literally every army and is constantly expanding, so he was along for the ride too.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna play Night Lords and with some Thousand Sons allies. That's gonna be maybe some Tzeentch demons too. I'm gonna have some Tzeentch stuff. That's my goal.
Isn't our one restriction that it's one Chaos God only?
Yeah.
So we're restricted to one god keyword.
Everything in my army will be marked Tzeentch.
Tzeentch. Everything in my army will be marked Nurgle. Everything in Dave's army is going to be marked Corn. And we are free to pick, or no, we're free to have units. So, I mean, we can have demon units or Chaos Space Marine units, or in Danny's case, Thousand Sun units. But we are not going to be picking necessarily what we're getting. We're going to be randomly generating our armies or kind of expanding them every week using the random army creation tool from the 2019 chapter approved.
Amazing.
An amazing tool. But to start with, because this week we're just going to be creating our Warlords, and then I think we'll have a showdown of Warlords next week or next episode. And then next episode, we'll start generating kind of our retinues to kind of go along with that.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. So
I'm
some
very
rules.
excited.
Our Warlords, any relics, any psychic powers, Warlord trait, set from the start. So there's no changing once you got in there, because these are going to be fantastic characters who are completely, like, they're not going to change their armor. They're not going to pick a different sword. They're not going to learn new psychic powers, because learning's for nerds.
Right.
Each one of these characters will become our Abaddon.
Exactly. And then using the character creation rules from Chapter Approved 2018, depending on the power level, you get a certain amount of buffs. So if you're power level 3 to 5, you're going to get 6 buffs. If you're power level 12 plus, you only get 3. That way to kind of balance out everything that's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to start here, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, sounds
I wrote
good.
a thing here. So my army commander is going to be Septern Mortis,
Ooh.
which is a nice Latin word for eternal death. Look at me putting the thing in.
I like it.
So it's Septern Mortis, Defiler of Dargastu 4, 77th Demon Prince of the Death Guard, Poxlord of Justinian's Pride. Justinian's Pride would be the ship that he commands.
Nice.
He's power level 8. He's going to have a Malefic Talon and a Hellforged Sword, because, again, Balsac Chin model. I love that model, so we're just kind of playing with what he has.
Sweet.
No wings. And then I was looking, I was like, well, shit, I really want to give him wings. Should I convert wings on? It's only an extra 4 inches of movement.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Did you give him a Plague Spear?
I did give him a Plague Spear. Yeah. No, I didn't actually. I gave him a Hellforged Sword and a Malefic Talon.
You can still give him that. if you
And
want.
then I'm going to just have in here Plague Spewer. Perfect.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks,
You're
Danny.
the best.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. His relic, obviously, Separating Plate. He is going to know the psychic power Putrescent Vitality for +1 strength, +1 toughness to a Death Guard unit within 18 inches of him. And then his Warlord trait's going to be Revoltingly Resilient, which is +1 to his Disgustingly Resilient roll unless it's a mortal wound.
Nice.
So he's going to have a 2-up save, 4-up Disgustingly Resilient, and hopefully I will roll some buffs to him to make him just a complete tank, and I won't care that he doesn't have any wounds, or sorry, doesn't have any wings. Who wants to go next with their Warlord?
Do what now?
Who wants to go next with their Warlord?
Oh, well, I will go. I will go next. I assumed you were going to do all of our rolling and settling and stuff.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that here. So here I'm going to pass or Danny, do you need the book for this here, or are you going to be like a cool guy?
No, I'm just going to do it on my phone.
Okay,
if
cool.
If that's cool with you.
So he is power level 8. So he is going to get 5 buffs per the table.
Okay.
So his first buff is going to be, well, how do I pick this here? You gotta help me out. I didn't actually read the book.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hold
man.
on a second.
Oh man, as you know, through kind of mob rules, we don't read books. We just kind of
Jesus Christ.
we just
Loosely
kind of
review
do them here.
I got to sort through all these dick
Where are
pics.
you seeing this number of buffs?
I made a table and then sent it in chat last week.
You should know that I don't read chat.
That's fair. You also get 5 buffs.
Me too. My guy's
Right.
also a 6.
Yeah.
So we're all getting 5 buffs.
We're all getting 5 buffs.
All right.
You're power level 6. You're power level 6. I'm power level 6. Okay.
No, John is power level 8, so John's immediately getting a little bit of a leg up on us.
Hell yes.
It's like
Okay.
taking a fly wrench
So,
in a 15
John?
level game.
Yes.
You can pick additional abilities,
Okay.
weapon improvements, psychic enhancements, or characteristic modifiers.
Okay. So I think
How many of these do you want?
Man, so I think what I'm going to do is 5 total. So I'm going to go for 3 characteristic modifiers, 2 characteristic modifiers, 3 additional abilities.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so for my characteristic modifier, first one is going to be 6.
Characteristic modifier is Deadeye.
So he has +1 ballistic skill.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah, perfect
Thank
when I
God
have
you
a
gave him a weapon that-
flamer weapon and a demon prince.
Smart.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Roll again, John. Because
Okay.
you were already at
'Cause
2
you're already
level
two.
ballistic
Okay,
skill.
perfect.
Yeah, that's not
5.
5.
So
Mighty.
+1 to his strength.
Nice.
That's a pretty good one here.
Yep.
So I'm going to type this in here. +1 strength. One more roll in here. 2 old war wound. Select a result from the table.
no.
Subtract or worsen this model's characteristic by the amount described. Cool. So I'm going to go for old war wound, dead-eyed. So he has -1 ballistic skill.
Okay. Cool.
So wonderful. -1 ballistic. And I said 2 to these, right? Or did I say 3? No, I said 2. 2 characteristic, 3.
You said 3, or you said 3 characteristic upgrades.
Cool. My last one.
2 ability upgrades. 4.
4. Add 1 to his attacks.
Nice. Wow. Okay, John's guy is a beat stick then, I
Close
guess.
combat beat stick. Yeah. +1A.
Solid.
All right, then we're going to go for our little additional abilities. First one. Oh, it's a D66. We're going to try that again. So it's going to be 14.
Yep.
Add 1 to his strength and attacks when he's within 1 inch of an enemy character.
Okay, not bad.
Dang.
A little beat stick. And then the second one's going to be 51.
Ooh.
Friendly subfaction units can use this model's leadership instead of their own when they're wholly within 6 inches of
That's
it.
cool.
It's
That's
pretty cool.
good, actually. He's leadership 9, too,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Cultists getting real brave all of a sudden right there.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So that is my guy. So yeah, I have +1 strength, -1 ballistic skill, +1 attack. I get stronger when I'm trying to fight other characters, and I have an inspiringly plaguing presence. Pretty rad, actually. I'm pretty good with that. Other rule is your commander has to be in every game.
Okay.
Or in fact, your entire army has to be in every game. I think we decided just the way it's being generated. But yeah, Dave.
Yeah. All right. So I have Garrick Core. He is a former captain of the World Eaters, who turned, obviously, along with everybody else. Got trapped in the warp with his company. Driven mad with rage as they were just frozen in time, still able to view and see everything. They've all become effectively absolute berserkers, and now have been released.
Look at the berserk of that lad. Absolute unit.
Has been released back into the Materium to just absolutely destroy everything in their path. He's a Chaos Lord with a jump pack, a Thunderhammer, and a bolt pistol. So at 6 power level, I get how many?
You get
say?
5. So you can take psychic enhancements, weapon improvements, characteristic modifiers, or additional abilities.
Oh, I have the book in front of me. I'm definitely not taking psychic enhancements.
You sure? You sure? It's a corn guy. I heard they're pretty good. Because if you roll 2 for Adamantium Will, add 1 to the number of psychic attempts this character can attempt to deny.
Which is still 0. So that's a thing.
But wouldn't it be 1?
Can we not have the corn guy do that?
Narrative.
In fact, it also says that unless you're a psyker, you can't get the psychic enhancement ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ooh, I'm Zinch. Maybe I'll roll on that and get like the ability to cast a power or something like that. That'd be cool.
But you wouldn't know any
I can't.
powers.
I can't even
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, well.
So I'm going to take 2 characteristic modifiers.
Okay.
I'm going to go for 1 weapon improvement, and also I'm going to take an additional ability.
All right.
So let's do additional ability first for me, John, if you would.
Beautiful. So, Danny, if you want to go ahead and roll that D66.
All right. So first is a 5. Second is a 6.
So,
56.
Savage Repo. Each time you roll an unmodified saving throw of 6 for this model in the fight phase, the enemy unit that makes the attack suffers 1 mortal wound after it's resolved all of its attacks.
That doesn't
It's pretty good.
suck.
It's pretty good.
All right, weapon improvements, sir.
Okay. All right, Dave.
I'm gonna write down here. 3.
3.
Pick one of this model's ranged weapons. Improve this weapon's AP characteristic by 1.
What is your guy armed with, Dave?
Bolt pistol.
Bolt pistol.
Okay.
Oh man, you're gonna have to come up with a rad name for that -1 AP bolt pistol.
It's called Shredder. Okay.
Tickler.
Okay. What's next?
All right, 3 characteristic modifiers.
Okay.
All right.
So 2d6.
So first one is 5.
So you add 1 to your strength. Well, that's good.
Strong. Got a 10.
Add 1 to your
Toughen
save.
armor.
Nice.
Okay.
And then 10. I got to re-roll that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
It's
I do.
fine. I'll go to a maximum of 1.
+1 to your ballistic skill. Man,
Oh,
Ripper.
I can't do that. Dave's already got 2 up ballistic skill.
Oh, fair. Yeah, go roll again.
7.
Add 2 to the movement characteristic.
that's cool.
Ooh, that is good.
Ooh.
So your guy's got a jump pack, Dave?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have a Chaos Lord with a Thunder Hammer and a jump pack and a
Really?
bolt pistol.
So,
from Insensate
Dave, your
range.
character is the same as my character?
Before the characteristics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you have a Chaos Lord with a jump pack as well?
Yes. And a thunder hammer. And if I get any range weapon upgrades, I'm including my crack grenade.
Whoa.
The world's deadliest crack grenade. Dude, do nothing but weapon characteristics. Have it like AP -4.
So my character's name is Vashnar the Tormentor, Prince of Nostramo, Warlord of the Talons of Misery. That's his warband.
So you got to add titles in there, otherwise what's the goddamn point?
Yeah, what's the fucking point?
You said Vashnar, the Vajnar, the...
Vashnar.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
Bitch.
Vajnar the bitch.
I'm not really listening. Did he say vaginar?
Vaginal
Vaginitis, the Tormentor.
Tormentor.
Prince of Nostramo, Warband of the Talons of Misery. He's a Chaos Lord with a jump pack, a really bitchin' crack grenade, and a really hopefully a really good Thunder Hammer. That's my plan.
That's the goal.
So his relic is Misery of the Meek.
Yeah, Dave, you didn't pick any relics.
Yeah,
or
what's your
warlord
relic,
traits.
Dave, and your Warlord trait?
Which you should have picked before all the cool movement and strength based stuff.
Actually, well, I had the trait picked beforehand, but I forgot to write it down. Hold on. I just need to look in here at this.
Let me see which one is going to be the most advantageous
I
for
don't
me.
have a relic for this guy.
So he doesn't have a relic?
Nope.
So he won't be getting a relic during the course of the campaign?
Nope.
Oh, he doesn't need it. He has his
Baller. All right.
Shredder, his bolt
His
pistol.
trusty strength 5 bolt pistol.
Strength
What do you
4.
need to-
He has
yeah.
-1 AP. He also doesn't have a warlord trait for the purpose of this campaign.
He has Warlord
No,
trait
he does.
4.
Yeah. Oh, okay. When an advance or charge roll is made for friendly roll leader units within 6 inches of this warlord, add 1 to the result.
That's really good.
Cool. So my guy has Misery of the Meek, and what this is it's the distilled tears of crew members that the Night Lords torment.
Wonderful.
And so once per game, he can drink it and get back D6 wounds. And if he does that, he also gets D3 attacks in the next turn. And then his Warlord trait is Killing Fury, which means on a turn that he was charged, or heroically intervenes, he gets an extra D3 attacks as well.
Oh, so he's gonna drink his salty little vial, and when he's charged,
He'll literally drink your tears after he's done smashing you up.
thunderhammer you to shit.
Yep.
So my guy's really good in single combat, but God, I hope I go first.
So I actually have Battle Lust from the Faith and Fury Codex,
Okay.
which gives him the heroic intervene within 6 instead of 3, and also gives him the always fight first.
Okay. All right. So are you done picking it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I had to look
Wait
through
until
the
I said
book.
that I wanted to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it out, but then I stopped caring.
Okay.
I had all these books out and ready for it.
All right. So I have my guy is choosing 2 weapon modifiers, 2 new abilities, and 1 characteristic increase.
Oh,
Ooh.
what do you want to start with there, sir?
All right. So we're going weapon modifiers first. Actually, we'll do abilities first.
Okay, abilities.
All right.
All right. So 10s, a 5, 1s, a 4, so 54.
As you can reroll failed charge rolls for this model.
Nice. Makes sense.
Very good.
He is impetuous. Second one, 5, 2.
That would be you can reroll failed morale tests for friendly units while they're within 6 inches.
Neat. All right. Weapon upgrades. Hell yeah. 10. Brutal. Pick one of this model's this model's melee weapons. Improve that weapon's strength characteristic by 1.
So the crack grenade, right?
So he'll have a strength times 2 plus 1 Thunderhammer.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So strength 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe you don't know what's gonna happen to him. He might be better strength than that, Dave. It will matter probably.
Yeah,
not.
it might.
And then the second weapon upgrade. Oh,
Please be a
same
three.
thing.
Same thing. So you're going to roll again.
A 3.
Yes.
Penetrator rounds. Pick one of the model's range weapons.
All right. So my crack grenade, which is actually just the flayed skin of many world eaters that he's subjugated over and tormented over his time.
Really hurtful and unnecessary.
Sewn up over the crack grenade so that when it explodes,
it takes out that marine real
it's
good.
it's something. No, you know what it's filled with? It's filled with a bunch of butcher's nails that he's taking out of the heads of other world eaters. That's the shrapnel. All right. Characteristics. 8.
Blade Master. Oh my god, no, reroll that.
I have to
because
actually.
you know +1. 10. Improve your armor save by 1.
Hell yeah, 2+ armor save.
Man, look
baby.
at all three of us rolling around with 2 up armor saves.
Man,
Look at you mimicking me.
Well, I just do it better.
Well, I'm not there to see the die roll either. I have to trust that you are not cheating.
Hey, I mic'd up the dice thing so you could hear it roll. Look, listen here.
A mic'd die roll doesn't tell me what the result comes
Here,
out.
I'm not even going to look.
Your mics aren't that good, John.
Oh,
8.
it came up. Fuck you.
It was a 5 and a 3. What was it? Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. See, I told you. Dave, get with it,
It's
man.
perfect. It's good.
For all I know, you're just using the former C's dice. Just rolling 2 of them.
Yeah, whenever I roll, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I just I get to pick whatever I want.
So our first round's going to be just Warlord action. Probably going to be a little 2 foot by 2 foot square where I hide in the corner from all these jump pack units that are flying in at like 17 inches a time.
So we're just doing a killed or be killed?
Yeah, possibly. Or we might look at something else there, but just kind of like a fun little start. And then next episode, we'll have a little update on how that went, as well as rolling for our random retinues, or kind of the first round of that. And we'll see what random ass stuff we can pull out of the hat here.
I'm using get totally fucked by the random units.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are going to get like heroic elite units everywhere. I'm going to be like one troop option.
It'll be like 1 unit of cultists. I'll be like, oh, good. I don't have any cultists.
They were all murdered.
So let me get this right. In the die roll, Dave got only 1 unit of 10 cultists, but both John and Danny pulled down... John
3
got,
great unclean ones.
Full Terminator units.
Full Terminator units. And then, yeah, we'll be playing some book missions and some modified stuff here to make sure it stays a little bit fair. So when we fuck over Dave, it's not going to be too feels bad.
Oh, no, it'll still feel bad.
Yeah, it'll probably still feel bad.
I kind of want to try some of the Demon World stuff from like the war zones and stuff like that. That would be really fun.
We should just do a Demon World for the whole thing.
That'd be cool.
Because we have like 3 demons fighting over, or I guess 1 demon and 2 mortal people fighting for demonhood.
Yeah, there you go.
Ascension. And then, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Dave, what are you looking forward to?
Hopefully winning at least 1 game during this.
Fair. I think we have to come together and adjust Danny's dice rolls for a lot of this here.
Well, that's what I was thinking. The first round should be you and me versus you, me, and Danny in a winner take all situation where we just decide, without Danny knowing, to just fuck him over and kill him first, and then we'll just roll a die to see who wins the next one. We don't have to play it out.
We might do that there.
Ouch, man.
Oh man, yeah. Well, Corn and Zinch, they don't like each other.
That's rule number 1 I heard from the coaching service. So. Collusion and cheating.
That is collusion and cheating. That's the way to go. We're gonna be bumping water cups all over this table. But yeah, that's all I've got. I'm very excited to get this started. I'm gonna get my Demon Prince painted up. Danny and Dave are gonna get their guys going, and then we'll be doing a little 2x2 battle of our Demon Princes, I guess, coming together for an alliance that fails horribly very quickly because
the breakdown of orders.
Attacking him.
Turns out Corn and Zinch don't like each other very much.
Assuming all I have to do is live, guys. All I have to do is live.
Yeah. And we might even look and try and find some degradation rules if our guys die too much.
That'd be cool.
Don't forget, Danny, I'm faster than you. And I have,
the Corn Berserker Lord who heroically runs away.
So you're going to flee? Is that your plan?
No, I'm just saying I'm faster than you. You can't outrun me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to throw a crack grenade at you and kill you. I hope you're ready for that shit.
Crack grenade only does D3 wounds or 3 wounds or something like that, right?
Yep.
Is it? So it's not going to kill me. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So after you run away from John.
Yeah. With my by the way, thank Christ I have a 4-up feel no pain on this guy. Because these strength 9 Thunderhammers and all of these extra attacks are going to be...
Dave's a strength 10.
It's going to be sore. Oh, yeah, because he's just +1 strength, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is.
Yep.
Good thing you're not toughness 5.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Thank God. Yeah, that's everything I got. I'm excited for this. We'll see how it goes. Danny, what do you hope to get out of this? Apart from painted Night Lords Force.
Some fun games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be kind of a nice palette cleanser in between a busy tournament season coming up for all of us here with
sure.
multiple GTs, monthly RTTs, and kind of the continued popularity of Warhammer up here. It'll be kind of nice to do a beer pretzels game. And, well, I guess a White Claw and a shitty equivalent of pretzels.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's still pretzels, actually.
I think it's pretzels, yeah.
I think pretzels are pretty not bad.
White Claw and pretzels.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Well, beautiful. Dave, you have anything else you want to add in?
No, I already bitched once about what I needed to bitch about. I'm good.
That's fair, and that was off air as well, and very insulting towards Spiky Bits.
Oh, you know what? There is something I want to add. Hey, fucking Long War.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking submit your goddamn scores, okay? Post it someplace. Make a spreadsheet, put it on stationery, post it on a bathroom wall someplace. Tell people where the fuck it is.
Just take a picture of it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Long War doubles. I mean,
run
it's not the
event.
short war; it's the long war. So maybe it's
I'm
not
really
even
not surprised.
Maybe it's not even done yet. Maybe we're still playing the tournament right now because it's the long war.
No, because it takes forever.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about stuff and things. I'll be crazily getting ready for the GT. We'll all be kind of getting into chaos, and I'm sure we'll be talking about the finalized ITC with 3 brand new missions coming up here in 2 weeks.
Excited.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to leave that out there. Yep, excited. That's pretty good. So I guess on that note, for Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Dave.
I've been Danny.
And we'll see you next time. Math Hammered.